If you're a senior over 60, what you do within the first 30 minutes after waking up could determine the health of your brain, your heart, and your independence. We're not talking about complex medical conditions or genetics. The real danger might be sitting quietly on your kitchen counter. Every day, countless seniors unknowingly start their morning with habits that can constrict blood flow, thicken the blood, and deprive the brain of oxygen. These aren't extreme choices. They're everyday routines that feel comfortable, even healthy. But recent research reveals they could silently set the stage for a stroke. Yes, you read that right. One wrong sip in the morning might triple your stroke risk, especially if you're skipping this one essential thing first. And the scariest part, most seniors think they're making smart choices. In today's video, we'll walk through 5 common morning drinks, some that are quietly dangerous, and others that actually protect your brain and your heart. You'll learn what to avoid, what to replace, and the single most dangerous mistake almost every senior makes. Stick with us, because this information could save your life or the life of someone you love. Before we dive in, if you're someone who values wisdom, peace, and longevity in your golden years, make sure to like this video and subscribe. We bring you weekly inspiration, motivation, and life lessons from the elderly. Powerful insights for anyone over 60. Let's begin. Let's begin with one of the most underestimated morning habits that can quietly sabotage your brain and heart health after 60. Sweetened iced coffee. For many seniors, iced coffee feels like a light, refreshing way to start. Sugar and caffeine together spike blood pressure, thicken your blood, and cause inflammation in the arteries. Especially dangerous for seniors with already aging vessels. Marvin, a 71-year-old retired school principal from New Mexico, had a long-standing morning ritual. Drive to his neighborhood coffee chain, order a caramel iced coffee with whipped cream, and sit by the window with the newspaper. It felt harmless, joyful even. But that seemingly simple beverage carried over 40 grams of sugar and nearly twice the caffeine of a standard coffee. Over time, Marvin began to experience lightheadedness, tightness in his chest, and a persistent afternoon crash. He dismissed these signs until he fainted while gardening one morning. At the ER, the doctors noted elevated blood pressure and pre-diabetic glucose levels. When they reviewed his diet, the coffee was flagged immediately. The blend of high glycemic sweeteners and stimulating caffeine had been overtaxing his cardiovascular system every morning. With age, blood vessels become less flexible, and stimulants make things worse. In fact, studies have shown that people over 60 are significantly more likely to experience blood vessel constriction and hypertension in response to caffeine, combined with sugar. Marvin's story isn't unique. A recent study published in the journal Circulation found that older adults who consume sweetened caffeinated beverages before 9 a.m. showed a 24% higher systolic blood pressure spike compared to younger participants. The mechanism is simple. Overnight, the body becomes slightly dehydrated. When you immediately flooded with sugar and caffeine, your heart is forced to pump faster while your arteries. The result? More strain, more clot risk, and a much greater chance of a stroke. Marvin made a big switch. He now prepares cold brew at home using decaffeinated beans and sweetens it naturally with a hint of cinnamon and vanilla extract. He pairs it with a handful of almonds to stabilize his blood sugar. He says he hasn't felt that crash in weeks and feels clearer in the mornings. So here's your new routine. Brew your own coffee, use a natural unsweetened milk like oat or almond, skip the syrups, and if you must sweeten, use a small amount of honey or cinnamon. Always drink a glass of water first to rehydrate your system. Your brain depends on well-regulated blood flow. Sweetened iced coffee might feel innocent, but it silently sabotages your vascular health. Don't let convenience rob you of your clarity and longevity. Choose wisely and sip with intention. Now let's move on to another seemingly healthy choice that could actually be harming you more than helping. Packaged fruit juice. Fruit juice, especially from a carton or bottle, sounds like a smart way to get vitamins. But the truth? It's a sugar bomb. Most commercial juices are stripped of fiber and overloaded with natural and added sugars. Drinking them on an empty stomach sends glucose levels soaring, damaging your arteries and forcing your heart to work harder. Let's take the story of Yvonne, a 75-year-old widow from Georgia. Every morning, she poured herself a glass of store-bought orange juice. It's full of vitamin C, she told her grandchildren. But what she didn't realize is that her vitamin-packed habit was sending over 25 grams of sugar straight into her bloodstream before she had eaten a bite of food. After several years of this routine, Yvonne began experiencing blurred vision and tingling in her finger. Her doctor diagnosed her with early-stage diabetic neuropathy. Shocked, she reviewed her daily habits and discovered that her healthy juice contained more sugar than a soda. Unlike whole fruit, juice lacks the essential fiber that slows sugar absorption. Without fiber, fructose enters your system fast, overstimulates insulin, and inflames the vascular lining. A study from the British Medical Journal revealed that seniors who drink fruit juice daily have a significantly higher risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular complications, particularly when consumed in the morning. Here's why mornings matter. When you first wake up, your body is in a fasting state. Your liver is sensitive, your glucose regulation is vulnerable, and your cardiovascular system is recalibrating after sleep. A surge of sugar in this state can result in a cascade of inflammatory responses, causing damage over time that leads to stroke. Instead of fruit juice, Yvonne now enjoys a smoothie made from frozen berries, kale, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and unsweetened almond milk. She reports more energy, stable blood sugar, and even weight loss. It takes a bit more effort, she says, but it tastes better and I feel better. If you're not ready to blend every morning, try this compromise. Slice fresh fruit and pair it with protein. A bowl of oatmeal with chopped apple or toast with mashed banana and peanut butter offers a slower, steadier glucose release. Packaged juice also presents another danger. Additives. Many brands contain preservatives, like potassium sorbate or colorants like beta-carotene, which may irritate the digestive tract or liver when consumed long-term. If you must drink juice, dilute it heavily. 1/3 juice, 2/3 water, and sip it slowly after eating a solid meal. But your best bet is to eat your fruit whole. Seniors looking to live longer, stronger, and sharper should consider their morning habits as investments in cognitive retention. Think of every sip as a message to your brain. I care about your health. Sweetened coffee and fruit juice may seem like harmless comforts, but science and the experience of countless seniors proves otherwise. Choose hydration, fiber, and nourishment over instant gratification. Your arteries, your heart, and your legacy deserve it. Let's now take a closer look at one group of beverages many seniors believe are safe simply because they contain no sugar: diet sodas and artificially sweetened drinks. For years, Patricia, a 76-year-old retired art teacher from Ohio, proudly avoided regular soda. She'd switched to diet colas in her early 60s, believing she was making the healthier choice. No sugar, no guilt, she used to say. But over the years, she began experiencing brain fog, occasional dizziness, and an unsettling flutter in her chest. Her cardiologist suspected atrial fibrillation, a condition strongly associated with increased stroke risk. The truth is, the artificial sweeteners in diet sodas, like aspartame and sucralose, can confuse your body's metabolic response. They trick your brain into expecting sugar, spiking insulin levels and throwing off natural hunger cues. But for seniors, there's a deeper danger. These sweeteners may increase the stickiness of your blood, impair the inner lining of your arteries, and elevate your chances of developing blood clots. One 2017 study from the American Heart Association found that people over 60 who consumed diet sodas daily had up to 3 times the risk of stroke and dementia compared to those who avoided them. In fact, neuroscientists have found that over time, exposure to artificial sweeteners can desensitize dopamine receptors in the brain. This means you not only crave more sweetness, but you also feel less satisfied by real food. In the elderly, that can trigger overeating processed snacks, skipping nutrient-rich meals, and entering a cycle of poor nutrition that leaves your brain undernourished. Patricia's story took a turn when she eliminated diet sodas and replaced them with infused water. Cucumber, lemon, and mint became her favorite combination. Within weeks, her energy improved and the strange heart fluttering reduced. Her doctor confirmed her heart rhythm had stabilized and she noticed her cravings for sweets had lessened. Why does this happen? When artificial sweeteners trigger an insulin response without any actual sugar to process, your blood sugar regulation can spiral out of control. Over time, this destabilizes your entire cardiovascular system and adds stress to your already aging arteries. A lesser-known fact is that many diet sodas also contain phosphoric acid, a preservative that can interfere with calcium absorption. For seniors, this means increased risk of osteoporosis and frail bones. Coupled with potential vascular damage, this creates a dangerous twofold threat: stroke and fracture. Hydration is key, especially for seniors. Instead of turning to artificially flavored drinks, consider sparkling water with a splash of natural juice or herbal teas. Ginger tea in particular helps reduce inflammation and improve circulation, 2 essential components of stroke prevention. If you still crave carbonation, look for natural mineral waters and avoid anything labeled diet or zero calorie, with a long list of synthetic ingredients. The goal after 60 isn't just to cut calories. It's to nourish your brain with steady, natural energy. Some seniors have also found success using fruit-infused teas chilled over ice. Peach ginger, hibiscus berry, and lemongrass mint are refreshing, brainful alternatives to fizzy drinks. Adding magnesium-rich ingredients like spinach or lemon balm can also support nerve function and mental clarity. So the next time you reach for that fizzy can with the shiny no sugar label, ask yourself, is it truly safer, or is it silently draining your vitality? And now let's turn our attention to another group of drinks often marketed as helpful, but which may actually be harmful, especially for aging hearts. Energy drinks and sports drinks. James, a 74-year-old former firefighter from Colorado, had always prided himself on staying active. Even after retirement, he went hiking, lifted weights, and maintained a lean physique. But a few years ago, he began relying on energy drinks for a morning boost before his workouts. What he didn't realize was that those drinks were flooding his system with caffeine, sugar, sodium, and synthetic stimulants like guarana and taurine. Within 6 months, James was hospitalized with chest palpitations and dangerously high blood pressure. His doctors said it plainly: these drinks are not made for a senior body. Energy drinks don't just raise heart rate, they disrupt electrolyte balance, overstimulate the nervous system, and constrict blood vessels. For someone over 60, the result is a volatile cardiovascular response: irregular heartbeat, headaches, high blood pressure spikes, and in some cases stroke. Many of these drinks also contain B vitamins in megadoses. While marketed as brain boosters, excess B6 and B12 in synthetic form can cause nerve damage, especially in seniors who already take multivitamins or prescriptions. Even sports drinks, which appear gentler, contain hidden risks. Many are loaded with sodium and artificial dyes, designed to replenish athletes after intense performance. Not seniors going about daily life. For elderly people, too much sodium promotes fluid retention, increases blood pressure, and can stress the kidneys. Another concern is dehydration masquerading as energy. Seniors often feel tired and assume it's due to age or lack of caffeine, but in reality it's often dehydration. Energy drinks further dehydrate the body due to their diuretic ingredients, leaving your brain foggy, your muscles weak, and your heart overworked. James made a full recovery, but only after replacing his energy drinks with warm lemon water and a pinch of Himalayan salt. He now stretches first thing in the morning, drinks water before and after his walk, and eats a light protein-rich breakfast. He says his endurance is better than ever without the jittery crash. What seniors need is consistent, gentle hydration and natural energy, not synthetic boosts. Try coconut water with no added sugar for potassium, or green tea for a mild caffeine lift paired with antioxidants. And if you're looking for a warming ritual, golden milk, turmeric, ginger, and almond milk is excellent for circulation and inflammation control. Adaptogens like ashwagandha and reishi mushroom in small doses can also provide a calming boost without overstimulation. Consult a physician before starting supplements. But these herbal solutions are often safer than grabbing a canned energy blast. The reality is, our bodies after 60 process stimulation differently. What once felt energizing can now be overwhelming. The key isn't to push harder, it's to flow smarter. So take a closer look at your refrigerator or pantry. What's inside that promises energy but could be robbing you of years? Reevaluate, replace, and rejuvenate. One sip at a time. It happens silently. Before your first sip of coffee, before your breakfast, before you even think about hydration. For millions of seniors, the single deadliest morning habit is not drinking water. And the danger? It's invisible. You don't feel thirsty, you don't feel wrong. But inside your body, after the age of 60, your body undergoes countless silent shifts. One of the most overlooked is the natural decline in your sense of thirst. You might not feel dehydrated, but after 7 hours of sleep, your body is already running on empty. Your cells are dry, your blood has become more viscous, and your organs, especially your heart and brain, are struggling to operate under pressure. This isn't theory, it's science. Studies from the National Institute on Aging and Harvard Medical School confirm that dehydration, even mild, reduces blood flow to the brain. It increases the risk of clot formation, and when clots form and blood vessels constrict under pressure, the result can be catastrophic: ischemic stroke, the very thing seniors fear most. In 2023, Clara, a 78-year-old former nurse from Michigan, suffered a mild stroke in the early morning hours. Her routine? Wake up, skip water, make coffee, read the paper. Nothing dramatic. But her neurologist explained something shocking. You're not just skipping water, you're setting your body up for a vascular crisis. Clara had no history of high blood pressure, no genetic red flags, just a quiet mistake, repeated for years. What seemed harmless was actually compounding risk every day. And she's not alone. Many seniors make the same mistake, unintentionally trading energy and clarity for fatigue and long-term danger. The body needs water to function at its most basic level. Depriving it first thing in the morning is like trying to drive a car with no oil. It might move for a while, but eventually, the damage sets in. The morning is when your body needs water most. Just one glass of room temperature water within the first 10 minutes of waking can rehydrate your brain cells, enhance cognitive clarity, support heart function by easing blood viscosity, stimulate detoxification through the liver and kidneys, and reduce risk of sudden blood pressure spikes. Yet most seniors skip this. Why? Because we've been conditioned to crave coffee, juice, or tea, but not water. And those other drinks often dehydrate us further, especially if they contain caffeine or sugar. Hydration in seniors is not just about drinking more throughout the day. It's about when you drink. The first hour after waking is critical. Seniors who begin the day with water, not cold, not iced, but room temperature, experience better blood flow, lower rates of dizziness and fainting, and significantly reduced morning stroke risk. Let's dig deeper. Dehydration shrinks brain tissue. When you sleep, your brain actually shrinks slightly to clear waste. Upon waking, it needs fluid to expand and resume normal function. Without water, seniors report fogginess, irritability, and memory lapses that mimic early cognitive decline. Worse, dehydration slows digestion, stiffens joints, increases risk of falls due to dizziness, and stresses your kidneys. It's a cascade effect that begins with a single, missing sip. Clara changed her habit. She now keeps a glass of water by her bed. She drinks it before her feet touch the floor. It's like oiling an engine before turning the key, she says. Her energy is better, her headaches have vanished, and more importantly, she feels in control again. Her story isn't unique. It's a warning and an opportunity, because water is free, accessible, and when you build it into your morning ritual, it becomes the foundation for every other health decision that day. Here's a simple 3-step morning hydration ritual for seniors. 1. Room temp water. 1 glass immediately upon waking. Avoid cold water, as it can constrict blood vessels and shock the system. 2. Lemon or Himalayan salt. Add a few drops of lemon juice or a pinch of mineral salt to support electrolyte balance and kickstart metabolism. 3. Gentle movement, a few stretches or slow walking to aid circulation and digestion after hydration. You don't need expensive supplements, powders, or apps. You need commitment to the basics. And this one is the easiest to adopt. What seems like a small act, just 1 glass of water, can be the difference between a healthy morning and a medical emergency. It's not dramatic, it's not exciting, but it's essential. We tend to underestimate the power of boring habits, but seniors who live long, vibrant lives often share one trait: consistency in the basics. They hydrate, they move, they rest, they listen to their bodies. And they don't fall for the myth that fancy is always better. Often simple is life-saving. This isn't just about stroke prevention, it's about ownership. Hydration puts the power back in your hands. Before pills, before tests, before panic comes prevention. So before you reach for your coffee mug tomorrow, pause. Reach for water instead. Give your brain what it needs. Give your heart a break and give your future self the gift of 1 more healthy morning. You've learned about dangerous drinks. You've seen how the wrong morning habits can silently damage your arteries. But now you know the truth. Your first action after waking up matters more than anything you eat or drink the rest of the day. You can change that starting tomorrow. 1 glass, 1 habit, 1 better outcome. Your brain is waiting. If you found this message meaningful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories, science, and tips that protect your health and celebrate the strength of aging. We share elderly reflections, senior health habits, and powerful life lessons from the elderly every week. Your story matters too, so let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from, and what will you drink first tomorrow morning?